What's up, everyone? We are back again, just sharing more attacks because the attacks are going well, and this army is ridiculously strong right now. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the army this time. I made some changes from yesterday to mimic the army of one of my friends, Varen. We took out one Dragon Rider, so they only have 8, but we gained one Inferno Dragon and some extra Rocket Loons. As you'll see in the replays later, the Rocket Loons come in so clutch just for sniping out defenses. Sometimes at the start of the attack to help funnel, but I also use it to snipe things out towards the middle of the attack anytime I need it. Then we have 2 Earthquakes. I've been kind of playing with the idea of bringing more Earthquakes, but I think 2 Earthquakes provide the most consistent value with the Giant Arrow Rocket Backpack combo. But with that, let's jump into hits. We'll review what's been going on. Today went really well. We had 320 on offense, so obviously we went perfect. There were a couple close calls, but let's jump right into the first replay here. I just want to delve into kind of how I decide to attack these bases. From yesterday when I started using the army, I'm starting to think that targeting the clan castle is one of the most important things to target. Then after that, if you can snag like Revenge Tower, that's the next most important target. Monolith is really important. Those are the 3 things that take 2 Earthquakes. Just remember that. Clan Castle, Revenge Tower, Monolith. Taking out Spell Towers is super valuable if you can. On here, I decide to enter from the right side with my Dragon Duke. I actually wasted my Rocket Loons. I'm still figuring out how the Rocket Backpack works. You don't need to get rid of any of the defenses at all, even though he has the Angry Jelly. You just activate the ability and he'll charge in a straight line through the center of the base. I put my Queen on the opposite side just because I thought that back side is going to be the easiest area to keep them alive. I kind of figured charging into the Town Hall compartment with the heroes, the Queen and the Dragon Duke, they might start fighting with those defending heroes and maybe drop down quick. I was a little late on some totems, so my Dragon Duke is going to drop down here in just a second. I am trying to invest a lot of spells into keeping my heroes alive. I like to use the Siege Barracks like before to support the Queen, but if you shoot the Duke Rocket Backpack in the opposite direction as the Queen Giant Arrow, then the Duke and Queen keep each other alive and they can get a lot more value. In this attack, they die pretty quickly, but we are able to snag those last couple defenses, the Revenge Tower with the super minions from the Clan Castle. And a lot of times there's going to be defenses that you hit with the Giant Arrow and the Rocket Backpack that don't have Builder Huts nearby, and so they'll just stay low health for the rest of the attack. I pop an Overgrowth just to reduce the damage and make it so that my Dragon Riders are targeting fewer defenses. That way their health will stay up, and then we can use the last few totems and freeze spells. One thing I keep forgetting, because I often target the Clan Castle with my Giant Arrow and Rocket Backpack, I end up with a poison spell that I don't use. And part of that is just I need to practice this army and get more comfortable with it. I need to remember to use that poison dynamically to poison the defending heroes. That way it actually gets some value in the attack, because that would be really helpful. We see definitely a lot of bases that have a Town Hall compartment with most of the heroes defending, and you have the poison to poison the Clan Castle troops. But if you could instead take out the Clan Castle like I'm doing with the Giant Arrow and save the poison for the Town Hall compartment like on this base, then it's even more value. Now, this is a pretty popular base. I actually attacked it twice today. The first time I was looking at it, I really took my time to determine where am I going to shoot my Giant Arrow. And what I decided on is just that bottom compartment at 6 o'clock with both Fire Spitters, the Clan Castle Revenge Tower, and Inferno. The Earthquakes hit all of those. So what I ended up doing is I shot my Giant Arrow towards the Monolith, which is really scary, and then I shot the Dragon Duke in the same area. I actually split the Duke and the Queen. The reason that I did that is because I reasoned that after I Earthquake out the Clan Castle, there's not going to be much to kill my Duke on the bottom side, and so he can really just work wonders down there and get tons of value. I put my army in as quick as I can after taking care of that arrow combo, just because I wanted to keep the Queen alive. I was really worried that some valuable troops were going to die, and so I popped my Warden ability really early. but it'll work out. You can see me using some surgical rocket loons to take out an air defense there. Just some extra value. We'll overgrowth over a rage compartment just right as it pops. And you can see the Duke is still alive down there, still getting value. He'll probably go down here in just a little bit, but the Queen is alive. The Minion Prince will pop his ability on the other rage, and Minion Prince has the Phoenix, and we're just using those freeze spells on the raged up Inferno. Once the overgrowth pops on the other compartment, the Inferno is not going to be raged anymore. And look at that. I actually haven't even used the revive spell. The Dragon Duke is still alive. So this base got just totally destroyed. We'll drop in the rest of the rocket loons just to clear up some defenses while we freeze. You can see those rocket loons, they just sped it up. They took out those 2 defenses really fast. Absolutely crushed this base. We're swagging 4 spell space right now. So, making it easy. This army is super duper strong. Okay, let's jump into the next one. So this is a good example. I was trying to figure out a good place to shoot my giant arrow. In hindsight, after having done all of my attacks for the day, I think I would have just shot from 6 o'clock right at the bottom and separated my Queen from my Duke, and then had my Duke take out the Town Hall, because earthquaking out the Revenge Tower and Clan Castle on this base looks like it's pretty good value. I didn't think of that idea fast enough, so instead I tried to giant arrow and Duke from 3 o'clock, the right corner, hoping to hit the Clan Castle. I started with the Duke and I missed, and so once I missed, I just gave up on the idea of using the giant arrow earthquake combo. So I kind of had to adapt in the middle of the attack here. I put my Queen on the bottom side to snipe out the air defense that the Duke is close to, just to hopefully keep him alive. And now I'm just going to wait and use spells to keep my heroes alive and see what funnel they make. Because as you guys may know, with the Dragon Riders, the funnel is the most important part of the attack. I mean, heck, with most attacks you'll ever do, the funnel is one of the most important parts. We triggered the rage. So it looks like my Queen and Giant are going to go down, but we're able to take out some valuable defenses. And I'm a little worried on time, so here I just decide the rage spell is wearing off. We're just going to go right in here, and we've got a bit of a funnel taking my army through this first rage compartment, through the fire spitters, and then to the other rage compartment. I'm watching the Dragon Duke to hopefully clear up that back end. We use the poison spell on the defending Clan Castle, and it goes down. So this again is going to be some surgical rocket loons. I'm going to drop a totem to pull the Revenge Tower and the Monolith. We'll use Minion Prince ability here first, and then those rocket loons are going to take out the Monolith. If I had been a little bit quicker, I probably could have saved the Minion Prince, but we didn't quite snag it. But you can see those rocket loons still doing work. They finish off the Revenge Tower too. We pop the last rage. We'll use the overgrowth to wear off the rage. And at this point, this is when we revive the Duke, because we're running out of things. I need something to take out that Guardian. Duke is perfect for taking out the Guardian. Duke can totally deal with the Guardian. And we've got just enough. So we're down to one more totem, but you can see Duke is going to take that out. He's full health. This base will be tripled. We're just waiting for that overgrowth to wear off. Nothing too crazy in here, though. It's mostly just the multi-Inferno that we have to deal with. Duke will clutch up for us. Alrighty. Okay, we'll go ahead and hop into the next replay. Okay, this is just the exact same base as before, but I guess this is an opportunity for me to talk about some other things about this army. The builder huts close to the Revenge Tower, you can see it repairs the Revenge Tower, so I wasn't quick enough. If I had shot my Giant Arrow and done my Dragon Duke ability a little bit quicker, then I think I could have gotten the Revenge Tower there. On the previous attack on this base, the right side builder hut was taken out by the Duke ability, so I just barely missed it there. Something to be aware of if you ever come against this base and then decide to attack it the same way. This one, I think I attacked just a little bit sloppier than the one before. You can see I'm a little late with the surgical rocket loons to take out that air defense. I'm a little late with the overgrowth as well on that left compartment, but for the most part, I'm just attacking this the exact same way. See, we popped the ability there. The freeze spells, if any of you are getting used to using freeze spells, They are super useful just against like revenge towers and the multi Infernos. I mentioned that a little bit last time. We got those rocket loons helping to take out the air defense on the other side. So the army is definitely weaker at this point, but we still have that revive spell. So when you've got the revive and you're hanging on to it for the Duke, if any of you don't know yet, make sure to wait for the air troops in your army to die away before you revive the Duke. That way he gets his raged ability, because it makes a huge difference. If you pop the revive too early, sometimes he'll drop too quickly. But there we go. That base is still crushed. We swagged the revive. Alrighty, on this one, it is just too juicy to pass up. You can see the clan castle and the monolith are all in range here, so that's exactly what we're going to go for. I don't want to put my queen on that left corner because it will trigger the clan castle, so I'm going to put my queen on the right side corner towards the town hall. My goal for that is just to approach the town hall as quickly as I can with my army to help keep the queen alive, but we're going to take out that clan castle nice and quickly, and the monolith as well. Now the Duke is just going to go to town on that left side because those big defenses are all taken care of. We've even taken care of the spell towers. They're just fully gone. Don't have to worry about the spell towers the rest of the attack. We'll drop in. Now this is again just an opportunity. I wish I would remember to use that poison spell, because just a poison on those few heroes that were in the town hall compartment, it would simply help. It would just do some good. It would get some value. Other than that, the rest of this base is going to be pretty easy. Once we get through the Revenge Tower, we can wait for our Overgrowth spell and then use the Overgrowth kind of on the backside just to cover up some defenses to help the Dragon Riders get through them a bit better. We're going to use the freezes on the Infernos as they approach over here. We're going to snipe out an air defense there on the backside. And looks like Minion Prince is going to go down. But there's the Overgrowth. And you can see the Infernos are the only thing on the right side, but there's just not that much damage hitting the Inferno Dragons on the right side because of the Overgrowth. So this base is pretty crushed. One thing I will admit, I made a mistake, and at this point I thought the base was totally cooked, and so I decided to just revive the Minion Prince to speed things up. And I'm sure it did speed things up, but you can kind of see my army dies a little bit more than I expected. The Minion Prince dies. And so it's just, if the Minion Prince is going to get revived and then die 2 seconds later, that's just a bad revive. And I dropped my poison for no reason. But that base was really crushed. Just too much value with the Giant Arrow, Rocket, Earthquake combo. Okay, I was definitely worried about failing on this base. But you can see the spell towers and the clan castle are all lined up. We've got the really nice lucky combo of the Infernos being right next to the clan castle, so we can take out the Infernos and the clan castle. One mistake that I made is that I placed both of my earthquakes directly on top of the clan castle. If I had placed one on each side of the clan castle, I could have taken out both of the scatter shots as well. So that was a mistake, something that I overlooked. That's something to remember. The scatter shots go down with just one earthquake. So in a situation like this, spread out your earthquakes, one on each side, and you can get multiple defenses, more defenses. So another mistake that I made here, I should have overgrowthed that left rage compartment almost immediately as soon as the rage popped, because my heroes died instantly in that rage compartment, which was a big mistake. They could have gotten a lot more value if I had kept them alive. With that overgrowth in place as well, I could have dropped my army immediately in that top left corner where I did drop my army. The heroes on that bottom side, they probably would have pathed towards the right, towards the town hall compartment. But instead, it's going to be a little bit of a closer battle. So if you caught it, I dropped 4 rocket loons on the right side just to take out the opposing fire spitter. Those rocket loons came in super clutch. The fire spitters can a lot of times be put on the edge of the base, and then as you go through, you can just snipe them out with the rocket loons. The core here is scary, so we'll just freeze that. We've got those freezes, got to use them on something. Pop the Minion Prince ability. And this base is a little bit closer, but we are still hanging on to that revive. So as soon as the Guardian goes down, I know that I can clean up the whole rest of the base with just the Dragon Duke. And As you can see, enough of my army survives that we can clear this out pretty quickly with enough things to spare. I think I actually misplaced. I think I went to put down my baby dragon in the bottom corner, but then dropped my revive spell. So otherwise, we would have swagged the revive. Alrighty. I'm guessing that the base meta is going to start to look like bases like this a lot more. Kind of asymmetrical, because the more symmetrical the base is, the easier it is going to be to line up the giant arrow and rocket backpack. So with this base, I was kind of coming up empty-handed with what I wanted to do. I decided I was going to try to shoot a giant arrow to the clan castle in the core, and I started with the giant arrow and I completely missed. So as soon as I missed my giant arrow, I gave up on that plan and kind of went panic mode, because I knew if I didn't do something immediately, my queen would die. So I dropped my army right into the rage compartment. I used my warden ability pretty early just to keep everything alive. And then, unfortunately, my queen just walks forward and gets taken out by the monolith, and I can't save her. I decided to use my Duke and rocket backpack from one corner to the opposite corner to snag the air sweeper that was opposing and some air defenses, and also hopefully trigger the rage compartment. I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a little bug with the rocket backpack right now where he triggers traps. You can see as he was flying over, there was an air mine that chased him from one side of the base all the way to the other. So I was pretty worried at this point in the attack, though, because I don't have abilities left. I mean, I've got the minion prints that will pop here soon, but it's a scary compartment right there. So we're going to use the overgrowth to cover up anything that's dealing damage from the outside, mostly that top compartment with the air defense. And then I'm going to use surgical rocket loons. All 6 of them right here, pull the fire spitter and the revenge with the totem, and then we take out the revenge tower. And that was kind of the play of the game in this attack. That saved it. Right now, we probably have enough army up to take out the whole rest of the base, but we're still hanging on to that revive spell. And, you know, just like before, Dragon Riders move really quickly. So on all of these attacks, they're very quick attacks, usually 1.5 to 2 minutes long, which means that if you get into a pickle and you've got that revive spell, you can just revive the Duke, and the Duke's got a whole minute to work on the base, clearing up anything. So we'll pop the Duke. We don't need him, but he's there just kind of to cheer us on for the rest of the attack. Okay, this is the final hit of the attack. This one I think was pretty easy to decide on. I just went with the giant arrow on the blacksmith right up there because I wanted the queen to stay away from that compartment with all of the defending heroes. And then we used the rocket backpack from the opposite side to just go through the core, and we're going to take out the clan castle and both spell towers. So maybe we could have gotten the revenge tower. I don't know if the earthquakes reach quite that far, but my queen gets pretty low. One thing I wish I did is I wish I used like one more totem on the guardian right now so that my queen would have stayed up. And I also wish I would have dropped one Inferno dragon onto the guardian, because the queen would have survived if I had done that. I also fat-fingered my rocket loons. I went to put down my Inferno dragons behind my army, but I dropped I dropped 5 of my rocket loons. So that was just a big mistake. But you can see the Duke is in a great position, just getting tons of value. Another mistake I make, I pop a minion prince ability right there, just kind of a fat finger. That was a useless minion prince ability. We're going to use an overgrowth to cover the multi-gear and the revenge tower here in just a second. I should have used it sooner because we could have saved the Duke if I had used it sooner. But this is just perfect because the Dragon Riders are going to take out the minor defenses while the Minion Prince stays back. And Minion Prince has that Phoenix. So once the Overgrowth pops, even if the Revenge Tower kills the Minion Prince, the Phoenix ability is going to help us get the Revenge Tower. But we've still got a Revive spell, 2 freezes. So this base is super crushed. We'll pop 1 freeze just to get through that Revenge. And everything's going to fall down shortly thereafter. So this army is super strong so far. I honestly haven't thought that much about optimizing it further, but I'm sure other people will, so I'm excited to see what happens. And then just kind of as a bonus, I wanted to review this attack that I failed yesterday and just look at the layout to kind of decide what I would have done differently, because I totally fumbled. And what I'm kind of thinking is I can rocket loon those air defenses on the side of the town hall compartment, and maybe if I just giant arrow the town hall and then use the Dragon Duke from the opposite side through the right by the multi-gear, then we can take out a multi-Inferno, the clan castle, and if we snipe out those air defenses with the queen, we can drop the siege barracks in quickly after, use a poison on the heroes, and I think that would cook the whole core. And with the core gone, the base just stands no chance. So that's my thought, but let me know if you do something different. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you're using this army. Again, I'm just shocked by how strong this is. I plan to keep on using it, and if you have any questions or anything that you'd like me to talk about, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep sharing my hits so that hopefully you can watch the replays, see what I'm doing, and maybe learn from it. Good luck.